everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you one way that you can repurpose your park maps, and that's by making magnets for your fridge or locker, office file cabinet, whatever. Just a cool way to be able to see your little Disney memories every day using park maps. I don't know if you're like us at all, but we get to go to the park pretty frequently, which is really cool. We're really blessed. But by doing that, we tend to accumulate park maps because the kids want one every time, and then sometimes it ends up in the stroller, sometimes it ends up under the car seat, and so it got me thinking about different ways that we can reuse the maps. And I'm going to try to link to other ideas in my blog post that's going to go along with this, but just so you know that there are options. Sometimes you can get autographs on it, have characters autograph it and then frame it. That's a cool way. But I discovered to make, magnets. I'm not the craftiest person. I don't want my blog to to portray me as a super crafty person, because I'm not. I do things that are easy and simple. So if I can do it, you can do it. And this is what I figured out. So I have a Hollywood Studios map. We were at Hollywood Studios a few weeks ago. I picked up a bunch of these. I've done this with our Epcot maps. This was actually some of my favorite because you can pick your favorite pavilion, your favorite country, and create a magnet out of it. You can do this for Christmas ornaments, but today I'm going to do Hollywood Studios. And I think I'm actually going to try to do one with part of the Hollywood Studios name. Rumor has it that they're going to be changing the name, and I don't know how I feel yet about that. So I'm going to sort of commemorate it by getting a bit of the name involved. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with these wood discs. So this is an 1.5-inch wood disc that I found at Michael's, really cheap. I think they were maybe $1 and some cents, and then I had 40% off, so really cheap. And there were 6 of them in here, so you can make a set of 6. I've already made 3 of these sort of in testing and trial, but you're going to want to start off with the wood disc. You can do round, you can do square, and you frankly can do whatever size you want, really. But that's what I have. And then I also have my map, and I have a hole punch. So it's a fancy hole punch. It's one of the paper cutters, and this is a 2.5-inch one. This is the Hobby Lobby brand. Not necessarily my favorite. It was on clearance, and so I got it for pretty cheap. Sometimes it catches. I link to the Fiskars one in my post. It is an Amazon link, an affiliate link. I personally have not tried it, but I have tried Fiskars brand products, and it's probably better, higher quality than this. And that's even if you want to buy one. You don't necessarily need to purchase one if you can cut in a circle pretty well manually. I don't trust myself to do that, so I like the hole punch, and it gets it done. So find a spot on your map that you want to cut. Just pop this in there. And this is on the corner, so I might not get a full circle. We'll see. Push it down. Let's throw that out of the way. See what I got here. It has a little tray. Like I said, remember I said sometimes it catches. So I'm going to have to open up the tray. There we go. And get it out. Beautiful. Okay. Set that aside now. So I have my circle. It says lighting, Hollywood, Disney Springs, kind of backwards there. All right, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my wood disc and I'm going to take some Mod Podge. Mod Podge is my favorite because when you're somebody that needs easy crafts and things that are pretty hard to mess up, Mod Podge is your best friend. I can't crochet, I can't knit, but I can Mod Podge. And this is the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I only got it because I had it for another project, but you can use the cheaper Mod Podge, the all-purpose, if you want. So start with, actually I already poured some Mod Podge in here. This was my makeshift. I didn't have a paper plate, and I didn't want to ruin one of the kids' bowls, so I put some aluminum foil in there, and here we go. So I put some Mod Podge in here. This is just a big foam brush. Again, you could use any size foam brush. You're going to want to use quite a bit of Mod Podge, and it can get a little messy on your fingers, and so this is going to be the front of my magnet, and so I'm going to Mod Podge the front of my magnet, and I'm going to put, obviously with the side you want facing out, out to the world to see, so the back of this is going to stick to the wood. You don't have to be super precise, like you don't have to get right in the middle, so you can kind of gauge the parts that you really want on your magnet. You will need enough to fold over, though, to fold over the sides. So I'm going to do it right about there. Be careful if you have Mod Podge on your fingers like I do, or if you're using a surface, if you put it face down, because it will take off some of the paper in the front, so you want to try to keep that front dry. At the end, if you need to put a little bit of Mod Podge layering over it just to protect it, you can, but you don't want to stick it in a thing of Mod Podge going down. Okay, so make sure that's going to be alright. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back, a layer on the back. This is where it gets a little messy, but it's okay because you can't screw it up. And you just fold over your circle. You might need to actually put some Mod Podge on your fingers. I found that that works better to really, I hate to use the term manhandle, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. You just kind of got to force it around, you know, the side there to get it to do what you want it to do. So that's what I'm going to do. And then you're going to want to let this dry for just a little bit. It doesn't have to even be completely dry, but before you do the next step, you're probably going to want to let it sit for a minute or two. I'm probably going to let it sit here for like 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and we will do the rest. If you really, really want to, you can put another scrap of Mod Podge on the back of this, but you know, or another scrap of the map on the back of this to cover it up. If I was giving it as a gift, I might do that, but for my fridge, I'm not going to do that necessarily, because you're going to cover it with a magnet. So we'll come back in just a few short minutes, but I'm going to let this sort of get kind of tacky, and you can see how it looks at the front. So I'll be right back. All right, everyone, I am back, and this is still just a little bit tacky, but I can handle it pretty well. Again, if you have Mod Podge on the front of this, or if it's still a little wet, you don't want to mess with it too much, because some of the paper will kind of wear off a little bit, and that's okay. I think it adds a little bit of a look to it, of a warm mat, but you obviously want to make sure that your words and the image that you want there is okay. The last step is putting on the magnet, and it's that easy. So these are 3/4 by 3/4 magnets. They're fairly strong and sturdy magnets. This is a piece of wood. It's not a heavy piece of wood, but obviously if you have a really flimsy magnet, it's not going to hold anything. And so these are magnets that are actually self-adhesive. I bought these at Michael's as well, but you can get these same exact ones on Amazon. I think I linked to them in the post. They are adhesive, but I still use hot glue just because I think it makes it a little bit more secure. When I first did this, I took off the backing, and it just didn't feel like it was going to stick very well, especially with the Mod Podge. I mean, it's just not very sticky. So I would use hot glue anyway. This is just a mini hot glue gun. If you don't have one, you could probably, I've never tried it, so I should say you probably use Elmer's glue or something, you know, super glue, whatever. But I would suggest getting a hot glue gun, especially if you have kids, because you're going to need it for school projects. My son's in 1st grade, and we have so many school projects already. So just a quick little dot of hot glue on the back, like so. The stringies. Pop your magnet right on there. There you go. And you're just going to want to maybe, sorry, my unmanicured hands. I would say let it set, let it dry for a little bit before you actually put it on a fridge, but I would put it just sitting straight up, so the magnet side down, because that part's dry, and let it hang out for a couple hours to cure, as they call it. And there you have it, just one way to preserve your memories using free